Tonight we're introducing a feature called Eyewitness. It's people talking about their faith in their own words.
And to find our first eyewitness, we didn't have to look far. We actually just went across the street to the offices of the Tablet. It's the Dioceses' 101-year-old newspaper. Ed Wilkinson has been its editor for 24 years, and he gave us an eyewitness view of what keeps his keyboard moving.
The great thing about the newspaper business is that it's different all the time. I grew up in a very Catholic family in a very Catholic neighborhood in Greenpoint, right here in Brooklyn. I came to the Tablet right out of school. I had no background in journalism. I had a theology background because I had been in the seminary. I was drawn to communications. I wanted to do something in the media. That's where my interest was. I just wanted to do something. I always wrote for the school newspapers, and I wanted to get into something creative like that. But I managed to get an interview with Don Zirkel. He said, we'll give you a 6-month trial basis, see how it works out. I learned everything on the job training, and I'm still here, so I presume it worked out. We talk about a lot of topics that the secular papers are not going to talk about. The stories that I like to do most are the stories about people whose lives have been changed because of their faith. They do something that they normally wouldn't do. They feed the hungry at a soup kitchen, or they decide to do some lay missionary work in a foreign country because of their faith. And those are the stories that you become exposed to because you're in Catholic journalism. So that makes a big difference, and it's helpful to me to see that, to know that I'm not alone in my faith. It gives me more courage, it gives me some inner strength, and it tells me that I can keep going if these people can keep going. When people say thank you, you really begin to, you feel good because you feel like you've done something. So often you sit behind a computer and you type out a story and you send it out, it's cold print and people read it, but when they tell you that, man, you really got that right, you made me feel good, and then you say, wow, you feel good because you feel you've made some kind of a difference because you've helped somebody else. I guess the highlight of my career, something I'll never forget, was in 1995, I had the nerve to write a column that said that the Holy Father should meet with the Catholic press when he comes to the United States. The Pope was visiting 4 dioceses on that particular trip, and they invited the editors from those 4 dioceses to come to New York to meet with the Pope. It wasn't a formal meeting, but it was just a chance to greet the Holy Father, to say hello to him. He said hello to us. He gave us each a pair of rosary beads, which is something that I'll always treasure. I have a photo of the Holy Father and myself, which, again, I couldn't put a price on it. I'll always keep that. And I gave him a copy of the Tablet, and actually he reacted to it. He liked this picture on page 1. He liked the fact that we had a story about the Eucharistic Congress on there. We actually had a few minutes to just chat a bit, and he said he liked the paper. I love journalism. It's just wonderful stuff. I mean, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn, from Greenpoint, and one day I met the Pope. To think of the impact that man had on the world. And I stood there in New York and shook his hands and talked to him. It's just an amazing thing.
Ed Wilkinson, editor of The Tablet. And to see Ed's work, you can visit the Tablet's website at www.thetablet.org. You can also pick up a copy at any local parish. It's nice to see someone doing the job they've always dreamed of.